Hello everyone and welcome back to the Call of Duty League. We're very much now into our Saturday, and boy what a day it is. And I tell you what, it is actually time right now for our game fuel keys to victory of our next matchup. Atlanta FaZe taking on London Royal Ravens. Nameless, of course, you're my man to go to here. You've been writing up what these guys here need to do, or really, is there anything that they need to do?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty simple for FaZe. They just got to keep doing what they're doing. Going up against London, you know, they're definitely the favorite. This is a team that's lost, what, one map so far? So Atlanta FaZe, they're comfortable. They know what they're doing. Just keep it up.
Absolutely, and that's the one thing. They need to be comfortable up there, and they certainly look like it. We're going to go to the game fuel keys to victory now for London Royal Ravens. What did these guys need to do to step it up?
So we saw in that last match where FaZe played OpTic, where OpTic just lost composure. You saw in that hard point where they were getting out-rotated when Major Maniac was inside a cave just destroying them. So for the Royal Ravens, they need to stay composed, right? Like if something like that's happening where a player goes like a 5 or 6 free, just give it up, play for new, and then they need Scraps and Dylan to go off. We know how much pressure can be applied on the side of FaZe. If Scraps and Dylan can keep up with those guys, they stand a chance.
I will say, I might not even put all the pressure on Scraps and Dylan. They just need to have this thing that keeps happening with them where no matter what the game is, no matter who's receiving more pressure, somebody goes off. I think If they can have that, it'll be big.
Let's jump right now to our US Air Force quick scope. Let's have a look at these two teams back to back. You know, someone I do actually want to talk about as well is Wuskins. He was going off the last time we saw him in London town, and I'm really excited to see how he keeps that going, that momentum, because right now, for me, he's one of the stars in London.
Well, and that kind of goes with what I was just saying with Nameless as well, Lottie. I feel like you can pretty much look at all of their players, and they have had a series where they look like an absolute god, and I think that's the strength of the Ravens. They gel so well together that somebody's going to go off, and this is one of the few teams that I really do think can potentially hang with FaZe.
Indeed. US Air Force maps and modes right now for you guys at home. Game 1. We got hardpoint, gentlemen. Okay, interesting stuff here. Looking at the veto system, I just want to remind you guys who are viewing at home that these guys have actually picked and banned these maps and modes here. We've got a gun runner to end as well, gents, on S&D. If we do go the way, do we see it going to a game 5?
It's really tough to call. Like, we haven't seen FaZe pretty much look sloppy in anything, so I gotta say that they're gonna win this pretty easily. But London isn't that weak in any single game mode, so if there is a team that's gonna, you know, push them to a limit, it could be London.
Well, now, you did mention looking sloppy, and I don't want to be rude whatsoever up here, but I do just want to talk right now about Surge and about some of the things that we've seen coming in, and subs, of course, coming in too. So Enable's actually on the bench right now. First of all, I got to ask you, Rich, do you think that that's worthy of him being on the bench and having Panda coming in?
I'm excited to talk about this. One thing I will say about Enable is if you give this man enough time, no matter what the title is, he is liable to pop off. This guy is a champion for a reason. He's one of the best players to play the game. But I think when you talk about making substitutions, look at what happened with Priesta. We were just talking about it with Crowder. For 100 Thieves, he actually ended up being the person that got subbed in, and it brought a lot of new life to the team, and then all of a sudden, they looked like a new squad. I think Pander is also player who's slept on.
He definitely is, but it's a bit different, right? Like, Priesta is a different level of talent than a player like Pander, and I think with Enable subbing him, I don't agree with that move. I think you give him more time to get better at the game, and subbing a player like Enable, right? Like, they're not going to keep Pander in the starting lineup by the end of the season. I can call that now. And subbing Enable in and putting him in at this very point, he's not going to be able to practice at home. Like, he's trying to practice and get better. He can't play against pro teams at the moment. So if you know that he's going to end up being back in the starting roster at some point, you should probably keep him in there. That's just the decision I would make.
Let's bring up a few of the ideas, though. I think Reddit said it very well. One of the alternate theories is that Joey just absolutely hates Spacely, and that Pander was actually going to be playing with Spacely. This has happened a few times already.
Conspiracy happening.
Nubsy just hates. I think Reddit might be right on this one. Also, Pander, obviously one of Octane's high school friends. That's another thing that I learned on Reddit. I think there are a lot of things that I'm excited for next week to actually talk about, Casey. And
it's a bad decision.
I don't think it's necessarily a bad decision.
Absolutely. There is a lot to talk about, and of course, you wonder what it does to a player mentally as well to be put on the bench and then potentially have to come in a little bit later in the season as well. But we do have a game on our hands on main stage. I'm going to throw over right now to two amazing commentators.
One amazing.
I got Maven, I got Merk, and Merk, are you even wearing a shirt up there, pal?
No, nope, I'm just a floating head, actually. Yeah, I got some camouflage. You can't see it. No.
I like that they talked about substitutes because I would love to sub out Rich for Teep. I think that would be a great trade.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably what we should all hope for, right? I know Reddit definitely wants that to happen.
Do it. All right, let's get into the game now. And no, this is going to be great because actually this is the first time you and I have really commentated FaZe. And what's interesting is when, you and I really started to dive into scrims and watch them daily. One of the first teams we went on with, because you and I game with Crowder every day. He really broke us through kind of what went down with FaZe. And we were impressed almost immediately, because it seemed like a lot of teams were struggling to adapt to the new playstyle, how Hardpoint plays. They got it very, very quickly, and they were the favorite team coming into this year. They've been lights out. They've only dropped one map, but they missed London, and now this is their chance, their home series, to come in and dominate. This is the next step in the ladder.
Yeah, but I kind of like this pick from London, right? Like, I don't know, we saw Cave earlier from FaZe, a map that requires a lot of rotation. They're making the game simple. Like, to me, London is making it simple. We're just saying, you know what, let's just play gun-to-gun with these guys. It's a risk, but it's like, if FaZe is a better team and they know how to play the game better, let's just play Hackney Yard.
But look at what side of the map. You get the spawn for FaZe, and then what was the other thing? When we talked to Crowder about a lot of people probably aren't going to play Hackney due to the favorite spawn, he said, we'll play it. Yeah. They were one of the teams that weren't scared to do it, but we'll see what they can do behind the strong side on tires. If you're London, you're hoping to get as much time as you can this first hard point. If you can somehow flip, which is so difficult to do, you want to push it through. They are eating up good time inside so far. Is FaZe look for any kind of opening?
Yeah, this is exactly what you want to do, right? I feel like we talk about it a lot of the maps. If you're not going to start on the stronger side, for that second hill, get as much time as you can on first. Force the opposite team to try to hold those spawns. But Priesta, he's going to find 2 kills. He's going to start earning some time. Now London, maybe starting to worse the middle of the map, but you just see the talent on the FaZe side.
I think you saw the movement there. The slide hops coming in from a BZ just looks so difficult to deal with that mid-map.
If I ever had to play against this roster, I'd probably retire. I'd retire again.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to play this.
No, they are the definition of twisted when they get onto the map. It's a 5 spree from Priesta as he's slicing and dicing in around the opening hard point. They've got spawns for next. Soaking up the time of next, Major Maniac. He'll be the one to put in the time around the objective as the spawn comes in close for the teammates. That's going to be 4 down, though, and a chance to maybe make a play. But when you have this close spawn, look at that. You're still spawning 10 feet from the hard point. There was one guy left up. It was just Major Maniac inside of the hard point, and they were still able to do it.
Yeah, it was about 10 inches away from that hard point as well. They're locking this one down. Major Maniac still inside this hill in London with about 25 seconds left. It's going to be time really to focus, to set up on that third hill. But as we rotate over now to Smokestack, and what London's trying to do is control that depot, right? That warehouse where the first hill was, is stay pushed out with green, and it's one of the scrappier hills, but you can earn some good time.
And if you were London, I think this is the exact number you and I said when we cast this in London about this map. So you spawn on tire side, you look at about an 80 to 20 advantage. That's going to happen more often than not. That's exactly what FaZe are going to have, right around that ballpark. You expect that if you're London. So now is when you need to come alive, and now is when you need to rally, to chaining together 3 and 4. So what can they do at Smokestack? As Dylan will be inside the hard point. We'll be on BZ's POV for now as he's looking for the opening through first, just checking every corner, see if he can find anything, because he's looking to get the angle from bottom L, and now he's got it.
Yeah, they're trying to get L control. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, at green, it's the Scraps who's locking that down. The nades do come in, but 4 go down for FaZe, and Simp, he's now just trying to stay alive. It's a nice kill from Jordan. You've already cut that sort of 60-point lead down to 30.
That's where you have to answer.
Great hold here. Yeah.
That's where you have to answer. They did exactly that. This is the perfect hold at Smokestack, and suddenly that big advantage will disappear. But in 10 seconds, we'll rotate to next and see if Royal Ravens can maybe take the lead, make any kind of big run.
And now what London's doing is trying to set up for green. Scrapsy will get taken down. Now on board with Dylan, trying to do what he can. The new hill pops. And really what FaZe is trying to do, they're trying to rotate for that final hill when we go there. So they're happy with the spawns, but now can they get hill control? Selim, he's on a 5 spree.
Still a ton of time here that they can pick up. But Royal Ravens have done what they need to do to get back into the mix. The BZ tries to finesse. The pre-fire comes in around the edge. Another one challenges. A BZ cuts him down as well. Aim to the hard point. Go FaZe behind a BZ's big play. And he's looking for more. Sip drops. A BZ still up. The streak will continue. But now for the rotation. They had that left side of the map, but London was able to get through, bust through, and set up for that backside docks building.
Yeah, BZ's just trying to eat this time. He knows he has another one-on-one, able to win it. Now just waiting for his teammates. Here comes the first push. London, they have Doc's control. You have Rated up top. Rated, when we watched them earlier, Rated had such a great series against Florida. And you need all 5 players to play at a high level against a team like Atlanta FaZe. So far, so good as they're able to find 3 kills, stop this first push. Major Maniac with that AR. He's going to be the last one left. Simp, though, finds his way as he's able to get through the door. They let it slip. Almost makes the play. But that buys enough time for Major Maniac to get pushed up, and the rest of FaZe are here now. They get a close spawn.
And you mentioned what you want from Rated. It's Wuskin, though, that's at 20 and 10. He's going off, but what was one of the keys to victory, right, for Dylan to have a big game? He's 6 and 14 in a map like Hackney Yard. How in the world? I guess if I knew he was going to be 6 and 14, I would not think the scoreline's as close as it is. Like that actually impresses me.
Yeah, but again, it's Wuskin who continues to play at such a high level. FaZe learning at the rest of scrap time. It's going to be it for the first rotation. 40-point lead for FaZe, and kind of what we talked about. I mean, I think you're in a solid position if you are London. Just
100%.
Yeah, off that start, and they were able to respond in a solid way.
See, now they have a chance to do a much better job from first to tire shop. They've already got tire shop control. Any kind of time they can get here and still maintain that is gravy. This is where you have a big chance for the lead change. In the next 60 to 90 seconds is where Ravens can maybe take over the game for the first time on this map 1.
And we saw it, right? When we looked at the quick scope, it was funny. Obviously, they have more matches played, but even just maps, like London has so many more maps played.
Was it 24 versus 10 or something?
Yeah, 24 versus 10. Like, they have gone deep in the series. These guys are battle tested. Well, like you talked about, they have tire shop control for next. Rated's going to try to earn this scrap time. That's perfect. With 5 down, they have all the map control in the world.
This should be a Ravens lead. Over the next 60 seconds of this tire shop hardpoint, we should have the first Ravens lead. Unless there is some insane break, and this is one of the harder hardpoints to break in the rotation. But here goes FaZe. It's going to be a 5-man hit towards the bottom side of the map as they're trying to break on through. The pressure is there. 3 are going to drop for Ravens. Is it going to be enough? There's still 1 player inside of the hardpoint, but they do get the spawn out. The close spawn comes in for FaZe, and the break is there. You're not going to see it all that often, but it is rather clean. With about 35 seconds left, they get in. There will be no Ravens lead.
We'll obviously have to see where this game goes and what the end score is, but that could be a huge moment. It's about a 50-point swing in favor of FaZe. Because we're going to head back to Smokestack, but this is where London did a great job on the first rotation.
Yeah, and there was no pinch. They just like 5-man hit it from the front, right? Like right from first, just bullied their way on through. Nice stun comes in, which will cost Simp his life. But now, just 50 more points needed for FaZe. Celium leading the way at 22 and 15. Honestly, they're basically all negative. Like the slang has gone the way of Ravens. I know it's a close game, but FaZe, even when they're not blowing people out, they had what, a plus 51 map 1 earlier today?
That's what I'm saying. On a map like game, which is so structured, which is so focused on those rotations, like when you're playing better, when you know the game more, you're going to get your setups that you want. Here on Hackney, it is more just around those floods, around winning gunfights, and that's why I think that, you know, London was happy picking this map.
Well, they'll hop right back into Smokestack. 20 or so left. They can get it close to a tie game if they can get the remainder of the time. All stacked up around green. Abizi, Celium, Priesta set up for next. Rated just able to get across. Well, take that back. His head comes off as Celium hits the shot. Celium's been the guy really lighting it up over the last 2 minutes or so. He's up to 27 and 16, leading all players in the lobby outside of Wuskin. I mean, really, Celium and Wuskin just going toe for toe with who can just put up the stats. But now down 20. Ravens maybe a chance here as we focus on the fight in green. Just remember that top left side of the map. You see London spawning there now. That's going to be the next hot spot.
But will it matter? I mean, will it matter? I mean, FaZe can win here, and they have a great setup. You've seen number 1 at the bottom of the map. Major Maniac is making sure they're not going through the middle. And FaZe, they're running a double AR setup, where I think on the other side with London, you have 4 subs. So, yeah, they're using Celium, they're using Major Maniac, they're setting them up in power positions with those ARs, and it's starting to pay off.
And you nailed it. Is it going to matter, right? You have those spawns if you're Ravens, but who cares if the map is going to get closed out here? Just 5 more points needed for FaZe, and Celium and company will close it out with a vengeance. They just need to win one more fight. It won't happen there, but they have to put everything into it, and look what happens. The spawn ends up flipping. So over to dockside they go for FaZe. We might see one more hard point pop. We will, but as aBeZy wins that one-on-one, he also wins the map. FaZe dominate the late game, take map 1.
Yeah, Celium, I mean, just really started to step up, but that was really the key difference, right? That when we saw in those setup, 2 ARs on the side of FaZe, but we talked about that break entire shop. It ends up being about, what, a 50-point swing, and that's the difference in the scoreboard as we take a look at our stats here. Celium going huge.
He's the only player positive. He's the only player positive on FaZe. You saw them outslay by 51 earlier to blow him out. Now they do it the dirty way, right? Like, it's not the prettiest statistically, but they still get the map 1 win.
And London, I mean, they were right there. They were playing well. They were playing them tough. Just one little slip up, right? One little slip up. That's really the difference maker in hardpoint and Modern Warfare.
Well, now I do want to take a look at the scuff play of the game. It's going to be a multi-kill from aBeZy. I mean, you saw the movement, you saw the shots, but he was locking down bottom green in this clip as he was just melting him. Second challenges, third challenges, and aBeZy shuts it all down as he gets rocking and rolling in that hard point. But yeah, I think the moment of the game, maybe not like the highlight play, but the moment is, yeah, I think he nailed it. That break in a tire shop. Because that's the chance. I mean, you saw how clean it was for FaZe the first time through, right? When they go out to, what was about 90 to 20 advantage the first time through, they're dominating it. That was the big moment. I alluded to it for 60 straight seconds. Like, this is where Ravens should take the lead. This is where they should take the lead. Yeah. They get broke.
Yeah, they had the 1-2 setup. It's just got to be a little bit tighter, a little bit better on their side. But FaZe, they take map 1. Here's just a look at the bracket. Huntsmen, they get through. We'll see them tomorrow in a semifinal. The winner of Røkkr and Legion, we'll see them tomorrow in a semifinal.
Yeah, so we're looking to get our second semifinal team, right? Push into that elimination Sunday. And the format, for those of you at home, we're in attendance, is a little bit different than we had last time in London. We had, what, 6 matches on Saturday, a little bit more stacked with 7 matches on Sunday. But you know, you ran into issues where you saw like the Huntsman players talking about they're waiting like 8 hours to play on Sunday. So a little bit of a change here. We've got 8 today, 5 tomorrow. Kind of more put into Sunday and those big matchups.
It'll pump up Sunday a little bit more, right?
100%.
We'll really focus on those semifinal matchups, which were there. I mean, those were 2 Game 5s in London.
They're great matches.
Should be a lot of fun tomorrow, but we still have a few more matches tonight. This one, and then following this, you have Florida and OpTic in that knockout match.
Well, I think I picked OpTic to come out of the group. Did you pick Florida to come out of the group?
Yeah, I mean, I was just trying to be different, yeah.
Did you pick, no, you picked them to win round 1. Did you pick them to come out of the group too?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, remember, on hard points, we were attacking those picks.
Yeah.
There's going to be a total. And whatever. You do not want to be worse than I am.
I probably will be. What's it, Matt? Usually it's you who does the dumb stuff, right?
You're right. I usually do.
Maybe after this, I won't, because I know it's a scoreboard.
Because I'll remind you every episode. Yeah. But we're getting ready to hop into the search and destroy. Arklov Peak, and this is the map I think you and I had the most questions about when it went from 2 minutes to a 90-second round count. This is the map that we wondered how offense would shake out the most. And one player that I saw immediately react to it positively, it was simply, all right, less camping. Like, he loved it. Like, if these are the team that want to play fast, so you think it would favor them. And Search, it's going to be hard to find a weakness in a team like FaZe on Search side.
That's what's just, like, so scary, right? Like, in dynasties of the past, like, we've talked about, I'm not saying Fate, they could be a dynasty, right? They aren't yet.
Yeah,
but
not close yet.
With stacked rosters in the past, you've never been like, S&D is going to be their best. It's usually the respawns. Like, the fact that we're like, this is such a strong
your complexities, your optics, yeah, it was always the respawn, right? But yeah, too early. We'll have that combo at the end of the year, though, maybe. Offense first for Ravens with the time change. You can see it's immediate pressure up mid. aBeZy does get the first pick, but then 2 will drop for FaZe. Numbers. Quickly to Ravens and sight control of B as well.
And I like that from Dylan. I thought he was going to jump out of the window. I got a little bit worried. It's like you have bomb control, you have map control. Don't go too far. Just get that bomb down, and it has started Sip now with that sniper. We know what he can do with it. Celium and Major Maniac able to make this a 2-on-2.
Nice shots. Major Maniac with both. Ooh, that was clean, especially off the mid statue, but then to tally on the next one. He got the pick inside the sight as well. That's a moment for Major Maniac.
And I'd like to see just a little bit faster, I think, from London. Like, you have Dylan inside the bomb. Let's get this bomb down, right? Like, let's, that's what that strategy's for. Let's plant the bomb. It doesn't happen. They don't group up inside the site. Then they try to rotate off of it, and, well, Major Maniac's there.
Round 1 to FaZe. Now to offense they go. Let's see how they opt to play this one out. Looks like they're thinking mid-map and B pressure as well. It was so many slow builds to A at London, right? Like the slow push behind smokes and nades. You know the map is going to change a bit. So far, though, passive and looking for an opening.
Yeah, Simp trying to find something, but they're not giving him anything. Already 40 seconds off the clock, Scraps. I don't know if that player saw him or what, but they know he's in this position. Simp trying to hit the snipe. That is a tough one. Scraps is in a power position.
Well, now you just got 40 seconds.
Yeah, they got to
make up your mind.
Dylan, I don't know if you spotted anything, but you have a double sniper setup out of London. Weskin's able to find a fake. Dylan, can he connect? Nope. Simp does, though, on the other side of the map. That's going to be Scraps down. He's going to be working, man. I thought it was a collab.
He hit it, though.
I thought it was a collab.
He hit it, though. So close to being a collab, but he does take one down with them. So to a 3 versus 3 we go. Abizi picks up another kill. The bomb will get planted. It's going to be on Jerd and Dylan. Now just Jerd to make the play. In the 1 versus 3. Takes one down. Finds the sniper, but the angle there for FaZe as they take the round. That had to have been very close to being a collab show.
Yeah, he might have hit him. I don't know.
Yeah,
I really have no idea. But once again, I mean, 45 seconds are off the clock. London, you get the first blood. You have to have an idea of where they're going. And, you know, they allow FaZe to just get back in the round. Obviously, some ridiculous snipes from Simp.
He's quite good at it.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I see that play on Arsenal from Black Ops 4, dude.
Dude, you hit the 4th one?
Yeah. All right, maybe back to a more standard A push. Weskin holding, Weskin hitting the slow peek. From Simp gets punished and they go. I like the aggression behind it. They get the pick, they go quickly. There's still one more in that deep popping. It's Major Maniac, again with a chance to make the play. Trophy out, it's Goblin. Up all the nades coming his way. He's 5-1 to kick this off, but he's now been smoked out.
They can get bombed down. You obviously still have Dylan trying to make the play. Can he get one? Oh, well, Celium does it for him, but you have the sniper here.
Nice shot, Weskin.
And Weskin hits it. Now the side of FaZe, do you have a smoke to retake this? It's going to be so hard. You're going to have to hit some beautiful M4 shots. And he's got a player watching over him. So Raiden and Weskin, and a great setup. Raiden's able to find that, and well, they're going to spot the second one. This should be a round for London. It is. It gets a little bit scary, but Dylan gets the bomb down. And that's the important play.
That fight, it's so funny. That fight was so chaotic around the bomb side. Of course, it just ends to like Celium's nade, which takes out both of them. But really, I mean, you're picking some spots as Weskin is a sniper, right? You guess right.
Yep.
You get the slow peek from Simp. That's the easiest snipe he is going to hit ever. And it was nice to see him not get a hit marker, which we've seen so many from Weskin recently.
Yeah, poor guy. I think he tweeted out, like, please, just help me, game. Like, please.
It's
like they don't want me to snipe.
I think you saw the flash right at the end of that as well.
In a very slow round on offense from FaZe, where the first 30 seconds are just taking some in-map control, trying to spot where London are set up.
So a bit of a... How about they still have the 2 sniper setup? Did they have a 3 sniper setup, or they just swapped Dylan and Scraps this time? Or did he pick it up off Scraps last time?
He might have just picked it up. But right now, yeah, it's just Weskin and Scraps. FaZe. It's their time. Yeah, looks like they're going towards B. You have a player inside. You have one player out back. It's going to be Jerd who's going to have the tough gunfights. If we go to Jerd's point of view, he's up top right now. When you play well, Simp's going to spot him, and now he kind of knows he has to go. Doesn't want the bomb to get planted. Can't win the first gunfight.
I think he should have won that one. Honestly,
Yep.
shot was just a little bit off, but I think he had the edge there. with the MP5. Waskin's going to get picked. Dylan, last man up, and he will get caught as well. Nice round from FaZe.
I just, on defense, I think London, they're obviously very spread out early round, and maybe it's due to the 2-sniper setup, but that's been 2 defensive rounds where it's almost telegraphed by FaZe, right? Because they only have 30 seconds. You know where they're going. It's like you just have to be a little bit more reactive on the London side.
Well, Jerd wins that gunfight and gets back up top with his life. That goes very differently. I know he got called out, obviously.
But even still, like, someone maybe should be going through the back door, right, to move that player's aim. The pushes aren't together on the side of London.
Priest is 0-1 through 4 rounds. The weird stat line.
Well, London, if they go, they will have an open B site. I don't think they know it yet, but they may soon.
Well, they know now. They've gotten into the site. Did they get it down this time? Because you were frustrated round 1, right?
Yeah.
This time they're going to get the plant down. Celium's going to get caught. He was playing so patiently, but rated just a little bit more patient. Abizi does finish that kill, though. He gets the headshot onto Waskin.
And that's another
4v4
for Waskin. And that's important because Waskin up there is watching the bomb as it's being defused with the sniper. You can put an M4 up there, but will it matter? Rated still controlling that middle staircase.
He gets dropped, though, but he was huge in the opening round. Now 20 seconds to go.
It's just time now. They're fighting the clock. Dylan, he's still alive inside. He's going to find a kill, just try to finesse around. That's going to be a free one, and there we go. London with a nice offensive round win.
Yeah, really the patience from Rated to win. Well, not even win a fight, just shoot Celium in the back outskirts. Then he gets that mid-step control, which you know how mean of a bit of cover that can be. Takes down a second. By time Rated dropped, like there was, what, like 25, 30 seconds on the clock. Remember, winner of this will be our 2nd team into the semifinal. The single elimination bracket that you'll see tomorrow. The loser not done yet. They still have a chance to get in.
FaZe has been very slow on offense, maybe picking up the pace a little bit. See a lot of aggression towards middle, and Priest is going to find a first blood. The smokes go down. Dylan, his immediate response is to try to full flank, but he's going to get some unfortunate timing. His simp is all the way back there with the deagle. He's going to find a kill. And now with that, you can even rotate back to A, right? You know that was a player towards A. See what FaZe does. They're just taking their time. They're waiting for London to make a move.
Exactly. I thought maybe they're just waiting on the opposite way for Ravens to make the rotation. But now they almost both end up rotating at the same time. He gets some information with that stun check. So here we go again. It's like, right, 30 seconds left. Like, they have to make a decision, but they've executed so well in these spots. Can they do it one more time? Can't quite finish it. Just gets away, but Sim with another deagle kill within this round. Bomb planted. They're more patient. They bait out the rotation. They get positioned. They get the round win. Every single offensive round for FaZe, it feels like it's those 30 seconds.
Yeah, but even on, well, this one it's a little bit different because you have man advantage.
That's true.
Right?
That's true.
And what defensive teams are trying to do when you're down a man is try to even it up.
And you get spread thin. You get spread thin.
You get spread thin. You're trying to rotate. You're trying to even it out. The first 2 defensive rounds for London, they had first blood. That's why it was a little bit weird why they weren't grouping up and winning those rounds.
It's true. Different scenario. And Scraps, who we saw on a map like Gunrunner, just be dominant, right? Seems so comfortable. 13-3, was like taking over. Hasn't found that same tempo here. And that's a quick run from Simp. First blood in. Oh, you want to peek me as well? I dare you.
He's crawling. Oh, he's just picking it up.
You got eyes on it. Jerd, his brains are gone, and Simp still up. He's got Major Maniac watching his low push as well. They've taken out 3 of the London players.
Priest is going through middle as well.
Pushing it out. Just pushing it out. He knew the trade was there. Dominant defensive round from FaZe. All opened up by Simp Sniper.
Yeah, he gets those 2 opening kills, and even I like the way Major Maniac's playing, you know, around the trench with the trophy, right? Because typically what we see is a team, they'll smoke out deep trench that allows them to push up, and that sort of leaves that player on an island because the smoke timings come through, they can hop up on the hill, get to the bomb, but with that trophy there, that just stops that push, and he only has to worry about that.
Well, a couple rounds ago, we saw it eat what looked like 3 nades of some kind, whether it was smoke, tactical, Semtex, like it ate a bunch of stuff, so he's getting his value out of it for sure, but triple positive is Semp, 9-3. As the young phenom keeps it going. Just the waiting game for FaZe once again. It's like the calm before the storm. Well, the storm comes in the form of Waskin as he hits the shot, and Priesta will fall.
You have a 2-man push towards the top side. Celium is going to be the one making the first move for FaZe.
Oh, well, that was loud.
Yeah, Dylan definitely hears that.
Yeah,
so he's going to peek off of it.
Yep. He heard him back up. Free kill for Dylan, 5v3 for London.
That's a nice stun check as well from London. They know there's a player towards B. This player is just going to back up, play his life. Now it's just a time thing. I mean, 3 versus 5 is a big deal, but also with 25 seconds left, that's going to be bombed down. That should be round done. So London stay alive.
They got to rip off, what, 4 straight? Ooh, well, that timing. Not that it would have mattered, but worse. Yeah, there we go. Oh, there goes Simp's body. As it is blown to bits. Three in a row now needed for the Ravens. Ravens want to take it towards B this time.
Yeah, at least they're mid-map. That's, I mean, they've gotten into P, right? Like they've been able to get the bomb down.
Similar to
Planet.
FaZe too.
Yeah, I mean, FaZe isn't playing in sight.
Shot.
What's going to get him with the first blood onto a Beezy. But the nades are there. Dylan's going to get taken down.
A little bit different though this time. You don't have rated lurking outskirts to get a free pick and get the steps.
The bomb's being planted, but yeah, rated. Maybe just trying to lurk once again, but ends up getting caught. To me, it's on what can the players inside the site do? Can they win gunfights? Major Maniac finds Jerd, and now it's all on the Waskin with the sniper. In a tough situation, the M4 shots are coming through. The pressure is here from Simp. The defuse is going to be coming in. It's a nice stun. It's going to stun that player. Can he hit the shot? Oh, the player's defusing. He hits it. Oh, he doesn't get down.
My God, you thought just maybe a hope and a prayer for Waskin, but he can't do it all himself, and that'll be FaZe closing out the map too. I thought Joe just for a second, man. He hits the first one.
The stun, right? He had it back Simp up. He had the chance.
He hits the first one, then gets him off bomb. You win that round.
Yeah.
Now, was he expected to win that?
No.
Hell no. But still, almost just insane, insane moment. But let's take a look at the stats now and see what stood out, positive and negative. Simp, beast performance, 10-4. Major Maniac right there with him. Major Maniac started out hot. Really, I mean, Scraps, I guess the kind of the sore spot standing out for London, just couldn't, doesn't seem as comfortable there as somewhere like Gunrunner.
Yeah,
Gunrunner looks like his playground, man.
Gunrunner's map 5, it's their pick. It's just, can they get us there? But I don't know if anyone believes they will right now with a 2-0 lead that FaZe has. I mean, you have to win 2 respawns off this team.
Well, they're familiar with the reverse sweeps. Now they got to get one in. Map 3 up next.
We trying to get hype. trying to get hype. We trying to get hype. We trying to get hype.
Call of Duty League is brought to you by Metro by T-Mobile. Rule your day with the #1 brand in prepaid.
Welcome back, folks. I right now am at the hype battles section. Before we actually do get to jump into the matchup, we're going to get to take a look at something that's been going on all day. As you may have seen in the past weeks, we've been having hype battles, which basically is a gunfight tournament where we have the 2v2 squads that are going head-to-head, usually represent a pro player and somebody who's invited to compete. But FaZe decided to do something a little bit special, and they've had a full tournament going on all day long where they've actually been grabbing multiple people, whether it is celebrities, whether it is people from that FaZe roster to go head-to-head, and that tournament is quite far progressed. The grand final is going to play out tomorrow when Hype Battles usually does go down, and this time we've already seen Scissor's team with Wit make it all the way to that grand final. We're going to get to see them tomorrow, but we got one more matchup to see who they're going to be playing against, and it's Pamage's team and Dirty's team. We're going to give you a little bit more insight onto that when we do find out who the final team will be to make it to the Hype Battle, but you can see that tomorrow. Now, it's time to head back on over to the main stage and see who's going to take this series.
Thank you very much for the update, Rich, but let's take a look at the U.S. Army tactical play, and it's none other than the young God Simp. The first shot comes through, and I'll tell you what, the second one, I think, even more lovely. It was Jerd that peeks his little head out.
He's just shoulder peeking it, right?
Bye. On his screen, he's thinking, I'm there for a second. I was just there long enough to throw a smoke.
Well, and I think
a
lot of people, like, they'll shoot to the left, right? I mean, he just predicts it.
Yeah. And now we're going to take a look at your social soundboard presented by Astro as the fans getting ready for map 3. Here is the social soundboard, once again presented by Astro. Let's take a look. Well, okay, well, I don't think that's it, but I promise it's coming. Hello, everybody. Again, it's fantastic to see you. You look like you're having a great time. Oh, okay, all right.
Maven has more hair on his wins than OpTic has wins.
I have more hair on my head than OpTic has wins.
That's true, I found one.
Yeah, thanks, Joe.
They don't have one.
Okay, all right. All right, I am supremely very, very bald. And
but I found one.
OpTic have not been winning. All right, they're going to get some points.
I mean, you predicted them to get out of the group, so hopefully they have a chance. They have a chance.
What is it, next versus London, right?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Florida. Yeah. Okay, they're winning that. I got a feeling.
Okay.
I just know it. All right, St. Petro, the map 3. FaZe looking to close this out 3-0, go perfect 6-0 in map count. They only dropped one map so far this year. It was a domination to New York Subliners in Minnesota.
Hackney, right? Yeah.
Was it a Hackney?
What is it?
I think you're right. I think it was a Hackney. I was trying to remember what job it was, but yeah, that's all they've dropped. That's it. Now, they have looked vulnerable at times. I mean, that map 1 was close, obviously. They were all negative outside of Celium. Like, London had a shot. I think map 2 a little bit more controlled by FaZe.
I mean, you still had opportunities there for London. I mean, London, again, it's come down to the little things, and we know that's what FaZe is just so darn good at, and that's why we talk to guys like Coach Crowder, right? He's like, I just need them to go to the right places, and that's it.
Oh, the opening kills to FaZe. Zabizi soars on into restaurant and sets up to make lunch. Unfortunately for him, Straps is already there eating. But over to Celium's POV we go. He's looking to hold down and defend that B site. 4 down for FaZe. Now maybe an opening at mid-map, but when can they get that pressure towards C? It's Jerd playing towards the C side of the map, just trying to get into Hazmat and see if he can play spoiler. With the spawns coming bottom, this should be at least a neutral, I would think.
Yeah, this is perfect for London. They're able to finish the capture at B. Those players do get taken down, so FaZe, they have the neutral. Now Jerd, we talk about this position a lot. Can he just be the thorn in their side? Does get taken down. Abizi has dead silence pop. That's going to be C secured. But B goes back to London.
Yeah, it's looking good for London so far. The problem is the overall series is not. They're down 0-2, looking to bring it back in the Dom. Let's go to an Astro Gaming listening with the London Royal Ravens.
Try get on it, try get on it.
It could be A.
Go on with trees.
Can't see my trains, I'm digging deep in trains.
I spawn P1, I spawn P1. Run it down, I'm going top line. No, wait. Top left, down top. Play your life in B. Tunnel, mid tunnel, easy. Top left, line, weak, easy. Double doors. I spawn P1. Double doors, blue court to elbow. He went to elbow towards L. On P1, I'm going C. You go here. Should we go C here, by the way?
Yeah, he's gone A.
Spawn P1. I spawn P1. No, you bad. They spawned A. 2 at A. Meet me, I can sell it. Double doors. There's 2 at C. Play my life back, sitting in the corner. We're good.
Look at the left track. Look at the left track.
You don't want me to back roof.
They can be back roof.
I'll go back. Back
roof.
Dino.
Be double doors. Can't see anything.
Back roof. On top Dino.
Back roof, kill me. 3.
On top Dino.
Just stay here, Brad. Try to stay alive, Brad.
Top Dino, BJ. He's on his left. Top left down.
Get out mid to B. Go back left.
Nice, brother.
BC was top, but BC was top.
No, one shot back C.
Behind you, Brad.
Back C, deep C.
Well, we get right back into it. Basically, a tie game as of now, but you got to hear a bit of the comms from the Royal Ravens.
Yeah, I mean, London, they've had B this whole time, but what Atlanta FaZe have done is they just held AC. And when London has spawned up, they have not chosen to go towards A. They put all the focus on C. And basically what that did is that just allowed Atlanta to hold those 2 flags, and when they had to, they could go towards B. Now that's why you see that lead change come in.
That's like the exact opposite now, though. As you started the sentence, it was an AC hold for FaZe. That was an AC hold for London. Now what can they do with it? How long can they hold it? Because you still have Major Maniac all the way in the back of C. He's got some help there from Simp as well.
This is big for London right now. Can they get to C and keep FaZe off of it? One player from FaZe spawns out at A. Well, that's going to allow them to get that neutral. A Major Maniac, his 2 kills may give them C as well.
They didn't finish either. Like, everything's basically neutraled right now.
Well, Jerd makes the play. Jerd guns Major Maniac and Abizi. So C still neutral. The only flag right now is B. Atlanta, they're going to finish A. Well, London's going to finish C. Well, now Simp just trying to stay alive.
It's just been a bit messy, right? Like, no one's been able to get any kind of long-term control of a 2-cap, and that's the reason you see it's a 7-point game. But with 60 seconds left, we'll see if the Ravens can push open this lead a bit with a 2-cap. As I say that, though, I think a neutral is going down at that B site. Doesn't look like, regardless of how these final moments play out, there's going to be too much separation between the 2 teams.
I mean, we'll see if London can push this lead out any further.
I thought they actually got the neutral before that. The last time we were on, I didn't realize that London held it, so they did actually get a couple more points in separation from that.
Well, both teams with 1 flag right now. Jerd just trying to make the play in London. They're just hoping that nobody's there at C. Weston, he's going to find 2 kills. Yeah, I think you talk. I mean, it's just messy from both sides. Both teams just fighting.
And I don't know if messy is the right word. It's just, no one really had like a long-term hold on anything.
Yeah, I'll go with messy.
Yeah, it works. I think the one thing you feel pretty good about if you're London, you've got a 7-point advantage, and you've got double negative from Scraps, double negative from Dylan, Rated headed that way as well, like 7 and 12. So on the sliding side of things, it wasn't pretty for the Ravens, but you'll take that 7-point edge. A lead into the second half to try and avoid getting 3-0'd, and remember that the Ravens will survive to have another opportunity to get into the single elimination playoff bracket, even if they lose this. FaZe 5 minutes away from getting into it tomorrow, and it'll just be them and the Huntsmen waiting to find 2 more teams. Setting up for what I think most people thought coming into this, maybe a final between the 2 juggernaut squads.
That's what everybody wants to see, it seems. So now London starting on the stronger side. So one player gets all the way through from London. That's going to be Dylan, and he's in a flame-through restaurant. He's able to find that first blood, and he immediately just goes to the A flag. He's just fighting for the neutral, and I kind of like that. They'll take C. He's going to stay alive now, but they have to be careful. As FaZe get a few kills.
And remember, we've seen both these teams play this today. Like, we saw Atlanta. They beat OpTic on this earlier. It was like a 20-point win. We saw London lose to Florida on this. That's the one-map Florida won. So both teams have played it. You'd obviously go in the favor of FaZe since they were the one that were able to win it today. And it's the only map that Ravens lose to Florida, but they still have the edge as it stands.
Let's see what Rated can do. Rated would love to just get 1 kill. The neutral comes in, and now he just wants to stay alive. I don't think any team has a flag as of right now. B about to be finished by FaZe.
A potentially as well for FaZe. So it's all going to go down at C. This is actually a scary moment, I think, for London. Well, actually, they keep him off of C, and they spawn up towards B. It, what looked like it had potential for 3-cap territory, at least for a moment on the minimap. Not going to be the case.
Yeah, there's sometimes I think something's going to happen, and then 5 seconds later, I have no idea what just happened.
Stuff changes so quickly in Dom. It's just insane. That's a dead body. But Abesius checks to make sure it's cold.
If you told me to write a 200-word summary of this map, I couldn't. I have no idea.
Oh, it's a 20-point lead for London. I think the fact that they've been able to keep it like this, so frantic, so little, what seems like so little control, like the organized chaos it's become.
Yeah, that sounds good. We'll go with that.
I think that's organized chaos. You like that?
Yeah,
I think that's a big chance, or a big part of why they've been able to hold on to this lead. But there's still 3 minutes to play. FaZe absolutely able to bring the comeback in, but it's just, honestly, very little points kind of earned from either team because of how many neutrals there have been.
You still have Dylan towards the back. You see, he's just trying to be a nuisance. He is getting hunted, though, just able to get inside, trying to creep around. They're hunting him.
He got spotted. He's got Jetty. Yeah, I would say BZ has to have Jetty because he is not reacting to his steps as well.
And it always feels like the better teams that we've watched on Petro, they get set up in this position where you finally have a breath of fresh air. You have B and C. You can put some pressure on A. We'll see if London can get out of this because this is the setup that FaZe wants.
How long can they actually hold him in? It's been something we haven't seen either team really do.
Yep.
But here a chance to do it. 2 players, make it maybe 3 still up around B. Can anyone from FaZe get in? Not going to be the case as 4 are going to drop. Simp going to be the lone man in a position to maybe shut it down, but the neutral comes in on B. So the CB control is not going to last that long, and they're going to get right up the hazmat on the riverside quickly as Wuskin, Rated, Scraps all lock it down. Spawning all the way out towards A, that number 7, that's going to be Simp, who spawns all the way out across the map. Was curious to see how he's going to play this. It looks like he's going to take it maybe back towards B, but he's going to get caught.
I mean, now with 90 seconds, I mean, London's just trying to play as scrappy as possible, right? They're just trying to neutral flags, just waste the time of Atlanta FaZe. They have an 18-point lead, and pretty soon Atlanta, they're going to at least need 2 in a neutral. The pressure starting to hit for FaZe as the lead continues to grow.
Well, their only vulnerability, the one map they've lost, a Dom. If they've shown weakness anywhere, it's the only thing you can maybe point to. And a chance to drop their second map, and it's looking that way as London clutch up and push this series deeper once again. Wuskin leading the way at 22 and 16, but all over the caps. I mean, Dylan, man, look at him, 9 objective plays to his name, Rated right there with him as they're the ones pushing the tempo.
And now it has to be a 3-cap. Has to be a 3-cap from FaZe. This is going to be their last chance to see a few players thinking about going towards A. That's going to be a BZ. He's going to have his plate full. He's able to win one. Dylan is there. They have to go. It's going to be a little staggered. But even with the 3-cap now, it is impossible for FaZe. So London, they're going to stay alive.
And I'm glad that London were able to get this map, because even if they were gonna lose this series 3-0, it's like a tough pill to swallow, because you play them very tough on each map. But now they're able to come in, take the dom. You know you had a chance to beat them in the hard point. You know you had a chance in the search and destroy as well. So I think if I'm London, I'm thinking going into map 4, we could be up in this series. Like, we have a chance to be up 2-1. We just haven't been able to close out. But here, they seal the deal. Map 3 goes to London. They're still alive.
They stay alive. And I believe next, I think we have Gunrunner, followed by Gunrunner if we do go to a Game 5. But we know FaZe has just been so darn good on Gunrunner hardpoint.
They have. I mean, if we get there for the map 5, I talked about Scraps multiple times today. Like, every single time I've seen him there, he's been lights out. You and I have played against him in a tournament on that map. He literally destroyed us. He went like 12-0. It was not fun at all. He's nuts on that map. But let's check out the stats now. Waskin again leading the way. And this is what's, well, yeah, the slang's relatively balanced. It makes sense when you got a 14-point game, but no like big outliers, right? Nothing too crazy.
Yeah, we didn't have a lot of those plays where that player at C is like staying alive and, you know, finding 2 to 3
that
kills.
crazy hero play.
Right, exactly.
Maybe that's why it was a little bit messier than you expect, because when it's just trade, you're going to have a lot more neutrals versus someone making that wild individual play to hold a cap longer than maybe they should have. But yeah, no, that was insane.
Yeah, Dom is, I don't know. I mean,
something, Joe, it's something.
Sometimes I feel like I'm trying to relearn trigonometry. Take me to school, please. I can't figure it out. I just watched the mini-map and I don't know.
It is wild, it is wacky. Yeah, there was one point where I looked at it, I'm like, oh, dude, FaZe is about to 3-cap. I'm like, the next thing I know, it's like a 2-cap for London. I'm like,
I don't even know. Yeah, I think we should do full-on listening for 10 minutes. I'm down.
Oh, you get a shot at both teams, though, as they get ready for the map 4. But I want to talk a little bit about before, we're getting closer and closer to Sunday. We've had 7, this is our 7th best of 5. Like, we've had a lot of matches. 8 best of 5s is like as many as I can remember since, well, like G3 or something, like going all the way. What was that? No, that wasn't G3. Was that G2? We had the one Gfinity event where I remember talking to Bryce Tackler about, we did like 11 best of 5s. It was an insane day.
You know, like past, CWL events where, I mean, it's like 6 or 7 was
6 is usually the most, yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, we're hitting 8. We're pushing it.
Yeah, we're ripping through it. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying the broadcast, but I do want to take a look at the brackets to remind you of how, the groups have gone thus far, because we're nearing the end of group play. We do have a couple matches tomorrow, obviously, to solidify our final 2 teams that will get into our semifinal matches of the bracket, but actually, I think the map's ready. I thought we were going to have to hop into it and do a quick overview of the day, but the players are ready to go. So we want to get you back to the action as quickly as possible, and we'll get right into Gunrunner. You mentioned right before this that FaZe has been so good here. Why do you think, well, they've been good just about everywhere, but what about this map makes them strong?
I mean, obviously, just due to the size of the map, right? Submachine guns, we talk about the tiny terrors, they're so good, but it's all about those rotations, and it just feels like Atlanta FaZe, they know exactly what they want to do on the map, they do it together. This one I can understand. I can do this one.
Yeah, that's good to know, because you are my expert, Joe, and I need you. All right, Atlanta up 2-1. Looking to close it out. London desperately trying to get this to a 5th and final map. Dylan's got his work cut out for him. Going up against the Tiny Tears. Needs to mimic that. Be like the EU Tiny Tear if he can. But the opening break looks good from FaZe. And they'll hop right into the point. Waskin peeks for a second, and BZ puts a bullet between his eyes. BZ is going nuts around Cargo. There's a position. But his movement, he can finesse so well.
And I like that they're just staying alive right now. They know that just going 1 by 1 will not flip the spawns. They need a good team push. So you see a BZ, some of his teammates go down. He's just trying to stay alive. They're getting some early time on this first hill. So that is fine. They know it's just going to be difficult to try to break into that depot. I like that patience, but now at 20 seconds.
Well, it's similar, Joe, like you mentioned. talking about Hackney and how you had the favorite spawn for FaZe, and how you expect an early lead. Similar here from London, right? Like you're spawning your sword second, and Celium is getting his knife hot and dirty. He's able to finish another one as well, but this is where Ravens should be able to push out to some semblance of a lead early. They can't get broken early.
And I don't know if they will. Rated, he's going to find 2 kills. That's going to allow them to push up train tracks. Are going to be some very close spawns, so Atlanta FaZe are going to have this pressure. Majority's going to pounce. I thought he almost connected the hipfire onto the second. So far, so good for London. But here comes the next wave. Yeah, 4 on one side and Simp on the other, going for a bit of a pinch towards that side door, and he gets in. Simp actually gets 2 kills. Can they hold from inside, or is it too much from FaZe? Dylan trying to do what he can, but they've done enough to at least contest for now, and then the re-challenge from Celium allows them to gain control.
And that'll get them about, what, 20 seconds or so? If you're London, though, it's not the end of the world. No, give up that rotation. You got your 27 points. Try to set up for next. These are the fights that are crucial. And Celium has a great start at 10-3, but at the other end of it, Priesta, one of the best players in the world, is 0-9. Pretty uncharacteristic from him.
Search, right? He was like 0-1, like 4 rounds in.
Maybe it's a little off his game right now.
Not an opening for London, but similar to what we saw with like Chicago and Minnesota at this third hill. London have a great early setup, but it's just too easy. Priesta, he finds his first 2 kills, followed by another 2 from Celium. That's going to, well, flip that switch.
They'll get right into the hard point. Yeah, just on cue, Priesta steps up. Big entry kills to get into the point. Behind the smoke, though, look at all the kills going to London. Behind the smoke play, they're able to burst on through. Last guy here is going to be Priesta, as he chains together, too, to keep the contest alive and well. Shots now looking on point. Priesta not struggling anymore. The help from Celium comes through as well with 5 seconds remaining. They'll start to think about the rotation over. Major Maniac's already going to be there. He gets cut down almost instantly, but you've got green and bathroom control from FaZe and a chance for a nice pinch.
Yeah, Sim's just thinking about the nice hill at Warehouse. He's just trying to flip those spawns. You still have Priesta over by Minecart. Celium continues, 17-5. He was just on a 6th spree at Minecart. We talked about the flex players. We were really, focusing on RCs for Chicago. On Atlanta, it's Celium.
I think if you watched the CWL last year, yes, there weren't some great finishes from Celium, but you saw the talent. You saw what was going to be coming over the next 5 to 10 years from this guy.
One of my favorite players to watch. And we talked like preseason predictions. He was my pick for MVP for the entire year this year. So I'm happy right now.
He's got the chance for it, that's for sure, as he gets triple positive at 18-6. Now, you mentioned the focus of FaZe to try and flip those spawns for Warehouse. They were never able to do it. But that's good for Ravens, because you need a hold here. You're down, what, around 60. This is where you chip away at it. But here comes FaZe, ready to pounce. One's going to spawn out, so they were gifted a pinch. That's going to be Dylan, who should have the world in front of him, and that's going to be frustrating for your FaZe. You go to collapse, he spawns about 10 feet behind you, and Dylan gets 2 easy picks. So that delays that first push that I thought looked so good. Dylan spawns deep, it might have been more favorable. If he spawns in the back, but spawning directly behind him, that just spelled disaster.
Yeah, well, right after that, Simp, he's able to get 2 kills behind Abizi. The pressure's already here from FaZe. The contest is in, Simp's in. Simp's able to find 2, but his teammate gets taken down. But that gives his team an opening, and it's his duo and Abizi. It's his turn.
Jerb went on a 5 spree through that, but just not enough to hold on. Who wins the big one-on-one? It's going to be Priesta. Priesta wins the one-on-one inside the site.
He was 0-8. Now he's 11-15.
Yeah, I think he woke up. Big response from Priesta, as FaZe still control the game. Now, let's get into our second set of rotations with FaZe up 50. Main green still going to be Priesta.
Major Maniac, he's able to flip the spawns for next as well. You saw he was all the way on the other side of the map, gives them spawns for second.
And I think Priesta dying, that doesn't matter. Like, maybe prevents a fluky spawn, right? Just get him out of green, just hold this side, just hold right, make sure nothing goofy happens. How much of this time can you get if you're the Ravens? They're doing an excellent job thus far. Priesta picks one out of the hard point, but there's still another one there to pick up the slack, and now they're trying to push on through. They're trying to get an early foothold towards this hard point. It Scraps the one that might need to make the play. Not able to do so. The pinch comes in. Major Maniac takes down his teammate, but Scraps down with him. But how close a game this is going to be once this hard point finishes. Waskin's still in like the midst of enemy lines. Well, if I say that, he drops. It's Celium up top doing him dirty. That's 3 in a row for Celium from the top catwalk.
Yeah, just such a strong position. Right, there's so many different timings. He can peek the window, back on up. He continues 5 in a row, already up to double positive, 25 and 13. And guess what? He can just go to the other window, help his teammates out on the other side.
Think how frustrating this is to try and find him, because it's not like it's just him. There's 4 other players running around bottom they have to worry about as he's just hitting them from the top rope. 7 in a row for Celium. It'll end there as London gets through with 20 seconds left, and that's going to be the FaZe chance to rotate.
It's a big one-on-one. Dylan's not going to be able to get across, so Major Maniac, he does his job now. He buys time for Simp to get in a position. Luskin, he's waiting for his teammates on the other side. So London, I mean, they do a pretty solid job on those first 2 hills. I mean, it's now down to a 20-second lead. Well, it stayed right around there.
How quickly can Ravens get in? There's a pinch coming through. I think the pinch might get caught. It was Jerd that had the timing, but there's still one more player deep. Rated on a 5 streak right now. We'll get over to his POV as he tries to chop him down, but Abizi gives him the strafe. London has been able to get into the hard point, though, at least for now. 30 seconds left. They can bring it to just about a tie game if they can get the remainder of this time, but FaZe still throwing forces at it.
Yeah, right, you're going to crates next. They know they can hit this scrap time, and they will. Abizi behind his 3. This should be the scrap time.
They still want to hold left anyway, right? Like, who cares? Just flood it, flood it, flood it. It just feels like every time the Ravens get close, like every time they bring within like
there's another hill,
10 to 20, another good hold from FaZe. They just push it out again. They can't like eclipse that hill, that 20-point margin. They can't get past it. 32 and 18 from Celium. Are you kidding me?
Well, 33. He's going to find a good timing. Now, I thought Waskin was going to snap on him, but he's just a little too fast. So he's going to earn some time. And yeah, I mean, you talked about it. For London right now, you have to get to this time, but then you have to worry about next as his streak continues.
6 in a row. 36 and 18, approaching the 40 bomb. And he should get there, unless they close it out too quickly. Scraps finally shuts down the hot hand of Cell. But perhaps the damage has been done. Down 60 now as Ravens try to rally. Simp waiting at the edge. Up to the task with the first gunfight, and he goes back in for more. His Major Maniac, his teammate, needs over the top, alleviates some pressure for now. There's the trade. And who's left standing? It's FaZe. Who didn't finish it, didn't finish it. That's one of those where you're just thinking about the next gunfight.
That's fine, because you have Simp right behind him, and he's able to find 3 kills. And now you see how far FaZe are pushed out. They can deal with this first wave. In London, they just have to go. 20 more seconds for FaZe to close this series out to get them into the tomorrow semifinal.
I thought Cell was getting that 40 bomb, but he hasn't gotten a kill since.
There's still 4 people right in front of him. You never know.
Just get all 4. Just get all 4. Not going to happen. Can't snap as Dylan comes flying on through the doorway. 10 more points needed, and FaZe are into a semifinal at their home series live in Atlanta. Do or die for the Ravens, though. They're doing everything they can to hold on and at least see another hard point.
Yeah, it's got to be perfect from here. And then you go to a middle hill, which we know how scrappy it is. It's going to be tough, but they're still in it.
They all spawn vent side. There's going to be flooding on through. They line up perfectly for Ravens. Celium there with the 39th. Looking for the 40 bomb. There it is, 40 on the board for Celium. What a map it was as he dominates in just 3 more ticks for a FaZe semifinal. They haven't been able to do it yet. It's a triple from Scraps that keeps him in the game. still a ton of time on this hard point, but
I mean, if we can get to second, London has a chance, but that's going to be 2 down.
can he get there? Can he get there?
There's a contest as well. They have to get Celium off. Celium, the contest is still in, pulls the knife out. Is he able to connect? He just keeps swinging. Just one more point of Beezy. It's his turn. There we go.
The 40 bomb from Cell and the 3-1 victory for FaZe as they move on to the single elimination bracket. Tomorrow they'll be the only team to lock in other than Huntsmen. Who would have thought? The 2 favorites coming in, they're rearing and ready to go on Sunday.
Sometimes, I mean, we always have those storylines, right? And sometimes those teams just never match up. They never do, right? You just talk about it, it never happens, and we'll see if it will happen. Still some games to go, but here is those stats from the game number 4. Yeah, I mean, we touched on the 40 bomb, and I mean, he was the only player positive on the side of FaZe.
Both hard points. Celium was the only positive player for FaZe, and they won both hard points.
It's wild.
I mean, not that, I mean, they're basically around even, but still, I mean, it's worth pointing out.
I mean, London was in it. London was in this series.
They played them very, very tough. FaZe looked vulnerable at times, but they get the 3-1 victory. On stage, we got Major Maniac.
We do indeed. It's time for your instant reaction brought to you by PlayStation, and I'm really excited to talk to you right now because, look, you lost your second map, period. That's the second map that you guys have lost in the CDL so far. What does that say about the Ravens to you?
I mean, we came into this knowing that they're a good team. There's just a lot we have to work on for domination. It's been a little sloppy for us, but I mean, I'm sure over the tournament and over time, we'll get a lot better at the game mode. So.
Yeah, the other map that you did lose was a dom. It was to New York. But let's talk about how good you guys have looked, because all of a sudden, you know, you start looking at the stats. We're finally getting more numbers from you guys. Coming into this one, obviously, we hadn't seen as much from you guys, so you had like a 14-0 KD and S&D setting the record for a little while. But Search has looked phenomenal. Respawn has looked phenomenal. Do you feel like you guys have a weakness?
Any team has a weakness. We just been working really hard, especially at home, watching VODs, scrimming, and just going over those little mistakes to get better and play situations better. So when it comes to these game modes and this tournament setting, we're playing it flawlessly. So,
you know, you got to watch the Huntsmen quite a bit. Before we got here, everybody starts talking about this matchup to see who the best team potentially is in the entirety of the CDL. You've watched some of their other series. Do you think you have what it takes to be able to take down the Huntsmen?
Oh, 100%. We watched them win London, and they're a great team. Going into that event, we kind of figured their weakness was search and destroy, but they played the game mode very well. So I think that series is going to be a great one to play. I mean, I'm excited to play it. The whole team is, and I know everybody else here is excited to watch it as well. So.
I know I'm excited to watch it. Definitely am. We got some more Call of Duty to watch. We're jumping to a quick break. You don't want to go anywhere. We'll see you when we return.